The Gwaltney Group.
The following is a sponsored program paid for by Robin Gwaltney. Gwaltney Group. RE/MAX Results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning. It's Saturday. I'm Andy Brownell with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning.
As long as the summer-like weather lasts, I'm happy. How's that?
And my flowers still look like summer. Like, wow, they look fantastic. So I just pretend. I go out there and I look and I'm like, yeah, this is middle of summer.
It still looks, yeah. I had to water the lawn this week.
Right? As long as it looks and feels like summer, it is summer. I think that's
ironically, the weather gurus or whatever you want to call them, because I don't believe in their forecasts anyway, at least long range.
Right.
They all seem to be saying we'll see snow early this year.
Well, I mean, heck, last year we didn't barely see any at all, so it doesn't surprise me.
Paybacks, right?
Paybacks. Minnesota.
Well,
somebody said the other day I was at the grocery store and somebody said, oh my God, this weather is so beautiful. I wish it was like this every day. And I'm like, don't even wish that on us. Everybody in the world will be moving in. Like, this is perfect.
Yes, it is. It sounds as if, talking to Scott before we went on the air, that you've had another fairly busy week again, Robin.
Oh my gosh, it's been really busy, and you know what? I am not complaining. I think I have 2 new listings that came on the market yesterday, and I believe I have 11 more that we're working on. So that's 13 new listings. So that's lots of good inventory.
That is good news too. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, really good. And my buyers are picking up. You can definitely see it. It's amazing how, when they start talking about, everybody feels really confident that the mortgage rates are going down. People perk right up because they know. I mean, they're smart enough to know, and I hope that people who are listening to this show realize it's real. Once those rates go down, those prices just start going up. And we start seeing more and more multiple offers, and people are out there fighting for properties again, and you lose a lot of your negotiating power. Forget about asking the seller to pay part of your closing cost, or forget about asking to get some money off once you get into multiple offers. It just, it doesn't work that way. So it's still time, guys, before that frenzy goes into full bloom, to get out there and find something that you can still negotiate hard.
I wonder if that ever registers with people, that if you locked in, or as you pointed out, you don't even, if you're out there looking right now, you don't even have to lock in at the rate. You can just wait to lock into the rate,
right,
until it comes time to
You can't lock in. Yeah, you can't lock into the rate until you have a purchase agreement. So
sure,
so bottom line is that.
But you could lock in the price of the house, though.
Well, no, they have to have an address. You have to have a purchase agreement to lock in the rate. You can lock in the price of the house. Yes, you can get under contract. Yes, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because you could take the risk and wait to lock in the rate after the purchase agreement.
Correct. Yes. There's a line right in the purchase agreement that says, when do the buyers have to lock in their rate? And there's basically an answer that says any time required by their bank. So the seller doesn't have any say, like, you've got to be locked in 7 days, or you've got to be locked in 10 days. It's when my banker says I got to be locked in to close on time, then that's when I lock in.
Well, it seems like a no-brainer to me. If you're contemplating buying, what are you doing if you're not out there right now?
Exactly. And the more and more inventory that's hitting the market, it's really the sweet spot, because we still have a lot to choose from, but yet the buyers aren't out in full forces. So you're still really in a good spot if you're that buyer. And pretty soon it's going to flip right back over to being in total favor of the sellers. And then you're going to be like, why didn't I do this 3 months ago? So anyway.
Yeah, because you're right.
Price of the day.
Even if you pay a slightly higher rate today, if you wait, you're financing a larger amount of debt at a slightly lower rate. It might just be a wash.
Well, and you can always, if the rates change considerably, You can always refinance down the road, but whatever price you agree to pay on the house, that's not renegotiable after we close.
Right.
Paid it. So that part doesn't change. So yes, it definitely makes sense to get out there, find what you're looking for, use whatever negotiating is available because of the surplus of listings and fewer active buyers, because it's going to be short-lived, I promise. And some people will say, yeah, but now we're going into winter. Well, I keep reading, and it's funny because I keep telling people I think our fall is going to be like a spring market, and boy, oh boy, mine has proved to be that. Yesterday, I was so busy bouncing from appointment to appointment to appointment, answering my phones, taking notes, calling people back, and finally at about, 5:30 or 6 o'clock, Scott said, what have we eaten today?
Oh, no.
And I said, we have eaten nothing. And he's like,
gosh.
God, no wonder I'm hungry. So I said, okay, I just have to do one more appointment. Then I got to stop and get a key from these people and put it in the lockbox, and then we can eat. He's like, oh my God. So we ate at 7 but we didn't die. It's all good.
I would have been Scott. I'd be looking at you. Come on, we got to eat. Come on.
He was getting older. Let's get a little cranky.
Hangry. It's hangry is the term.
He survived. And it's not good eating habits. I wouldn't do it every day, but some days you just get busy and get caught up. So I'm busy and I'm thrilled to be busy. I'm not complaining.
Have you heard from your lenders that you work with that where the rates, what they're doing lately?
Yeah. I've heard. I've seen emails from different lenders saying, hey, we've got a 30-year fixed at 6.0. Hey, we've got a 15-year fixed at 5.75. There's some good rates out there.
Right.
And of course, there are things tied to the rates such as your credit score. And, there are also, if you're buying the property to live in versus buying it for a investment, that changes things. So there definitely you want to talk to a lender, but don't be too worried because there are some very desirable rates available.
I was going to head in that direction because with all the news and anticipation of what the Federal Reserve is going to do, is it going to be a half-point cut? Is it going to be a quarter-point cut? That kind of gets baked into the market beforehand, doesn't it, as far as actual consumer interest rates are concerned? I'm sure they'll move a bit after the fact, but they may not move as much as people anticipate.
Right. I agree with you. I think a lot of the mortgage lenders that I've spoke to say that just knowing it's coming has, been all they've needed to start initiating lower mortgage rates.
Right.
Yeah.
So once again, another reason, if you're actually thinking about it, to actually do it.
Yes.
Get out there and call Robin Gwaltney and start looking to see if one of these many homes that you've listed this week match up right for you, right?
Exactly. Or there's several others listed. That's the glory of real estate. We have the whole MLS at our fingertips. So it doesn't even have to be our listing, but there are a lot of listings available. So yes, always happy to help, with any questions that you have. We've been using these touring agreements, so they're very, they're not as threatening as signing somebody up as a buyer, representing them as a buyer. We talked about this last week, and actually it was awesome because right after the show, I got a call from somebody who was listening, and she said, can you show me the property that you talked about on the radio show this morning? I said, sure. And then I showed her, and I said, okay, I've got to explain this touring guide. She goes, no, I listened to you. I understand. It's fine. Show me where to sign. I'm like, yay. So yeah, it is very non-threatening. It really, truly is.
Well, that's wonderful to hear from somebody who heard it on the program and was educated about what's happening.
Yeah, I get a lot of feedback from people that tell me, I learned so much. I listen to you every week. I'm like, oh, I love that. I absolutely love it. And I even get a bigger compliment. There are a few agents that tell me, I love listening to your show, Robin. And I'm like, oh, thank you. So, and I love doing it. Somebody said, oh my gosh, how do you find time to do that? And I'm like, it doesn't take that long and I really enjoy it. So it's fun.
And you actually got to eat today, so it wasn't part of the equation.
Yeah, I had breakfast.
All right, we'll take a quick break. It's Saturday with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE results on Newstalk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.com. Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning and welcome back. Andy Brownell with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE results. That's our Saturday morning chat about the real estate market and activity here in southeastern Minnesota. And previously, Robin, and you've alluded to this before, that as these interest rates slide as we head towards winter, which seems a certainty now with at least the discussions you're hearing from the Federal Reserve, more and more buyers will come into the market, and you're likely going to see, once again, an increase in the multiple offers for homes. And that, I remember back in the crazy days, that often meant to make a competitive offer, you had to go in there and waive the home inspection, which personally makes me very nervous. Is there a way to deal with that?
So as a listing agent, I always tell the seller, I think it's really a good idea to do a pre-inspection, which the seller will pay for and provide to any buyer who walks through the home. Okay. So the seller is going to pay the whatever, depending on the size of the house, $400 or $500 to have the inspection done. Then the report's going to be made available to the agents who are showing the house, online, and then they can share it with their potential buyer so that the buyer will see, okay, good, the roof's only 2 years old, or this furnace was replaced 3 years ago, or, answer some of the questions, right? Well, sometimes they're going to do this pre-inspection and they're going to disclose, okay, our furnace is 20 years old, our roof is 18 years old, our kitchen appliances we've had since, 12 years ago. Everything is working fine. Everything is in good working condition. So at least that's the same thing an inspector would tell you if you're the buyer hiring them, right? So what I say to my sellers, if we want to encourage people to come in here, feel comfortable to not do an inspection, in a multiple offer situation, why don't we provide the inspection report so that they, we can put their mind at ease. Sometimes they're okay with that, and sometimes they just don't really want to. They're like, I just really don't want to open a can of worms. What if I then test for radon and find out that I have radon, and now I've got to disclose that? It might cost me, $1,750 or something to mitigate. Whereas if I don't do an inspection and then we do get multiple offers and somebody waives their inspection, I know I'm not going to be hung for that money to put in a radon mitigation, right? And if I don't know about it, then I'm not guilty. I don't feel bad. So I do understand that. But usually people will go the route where they'll just provide the inspection. But another option that I offer to sellers, and I think this is a really good option as a seller, is to provide a home warranty for your buyer. So if you can say, this is our price. We have not had the house pre-inspected, but we do know that our furnace is older, our appliances are older, everything works. But just in the event that they would go out in the first year you own the home, they would be covered under this home warranty. And so the home warranty has a minimal fee for like a service call fee, basically, for the homeowner. So let's say I'm the seller. I provide this home warranty. You come and buy my house. All right. So I list my house in August, and in October, it's under contract with you, but the home warranty is still in my name because I bought it in my name. Okay. So if something breaks down before we close, I can call on the home warranty to take care of it.
Oh.
Then I pay the service fee of $100, the service call fee or whatever. And the way the home warranty works is they will either fix it if it's fixable, and if it's not fixable, they'll replace it. And some of the home warranty companies will only replace with like similar models, like if you have, whatever. But this company that we're working with now is called Cinch Home Services. And I've really been impressed. And I've really been impressed with our rep And I think he really does want to make it work. So like, he's not like, we're not going to be avoiding claims and saying, oh, sorry, in the fine print, it says we won't do that. I mean, he's been really easy to work with, and we've had a couple of agents who've had to have things replaced, and it's been really good. So I feel comfortable going in and saying to my sellers, why don't you fork over this $500 now? It'll cover you from now until the day you close. So if anything pops up, it's off your head. But then you also get to put it into the buyer's name, and then it covers them for 1 year, 12 full months from the day they close. So it could end up being a 15, 16-month warranty, completely covered for first the seller until the day of closing, and then the buyer for 12 more months. So it's a really good deal. And I think that if you're not going to have a pre-inspection and there are things in your house that are older, I think it's going to make people feel more confident to just move forward and write a better offer. And that might be the difference between feeling comfortable waiving the inspection or not for that buyer.
Okay. In this particular situation that you're familiar with, what kind of things do they cover? Let's say if your roof sprung a leak, would that be covered?
So it's not roofs, but it's,
okay.
I'll read it to you. It's like air conditioning,
okay,
to 2 units, heating up to 2 units, plumbing, electrical, dishwasher, refrigerator, microwave, oven range, cooktop, range, exhaust, washer, dryer, water heater, sediment buildup, plumbing stoppages, jetted bathtub, attic exhaust, whole house fan, ceiling fan, central vac, light fixture, smoke detectors, doorbell chimes, garage door openers, sump pump, appliances, locksmith service reimbursement, unknown pre-existing conditions, failure due to lack of maintenance. So there's some things like if you have
a big list.
Yeah, no, there is a big list. And bottom line is, I've seen it with my own eyes, and I've seen how well it's worked for people. And so back in the day when I started selling real estate, I used to always encourage people to buy these home warranties. And then over the years, like everything else, things evolved. And then all of a sudden we'd find out that it was like pulling teeth to actually get them to honor the contract. So I finally started saying, okay, this is a waste of money. I don't encourage it anymore. But now they've been coming back on. And I think ever since, a few years back when people started dropping the home inspections or their right to get one, then I think these became more and more valuable. And some companies have really perfected what they're doing, and they're doing it right. And they have great relationships with local vendors. Like, so they have a contract with a certain plumber that they send out. And they're all names we know and people we know and trust. So yeah, it's a really good deal. So now I am back to encouraging sellers to invest that money for that home warranty. I think it's money well spent.
Yeah. I mean, if the amounts that you're talking about in the overall scheme of things, for the peace of mind, I think that would be well worth it.
Yeah. And if you know that all of a sudden your refrigerator went out, and what it's going to cost you is that $100 service fee. And then after that, they're going to either come and fix it. And if it can't be fixed, they're going to replace it. And it's not costing you anything above that $100. It's like, that's a nice peace of mind.
We have to take another break already. My goodness. Oh. We'll zoom right back in just a moment with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE results. It's News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
To Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We're back with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE results. And Robin, I know it's, what is it? An inevitability, right?
Yeah.
Increasing property taxes.
Right. So this is what I tell people. You know how we've talked many, many times, what payment is in your budget, right? So instead of getting fixated on, property taxes are going up again, interest rates are here or there, the price is here or there, we have to put the whole thing together. Now the prices are here, so before they go up, let's find a house, but the interest rates are a little higher. They might wait. They might go down. If we wait, then we could probably save a few bucks there. But if the prices have gone up, you don't, right? And what about the property taxes? Well, I'm just going to promise you this. Just realize they're going to keep going up and up and up and up. They're never coming down. They're never going to get cheaper. It's not like interest rates where all of a sudden rates take a dip. I remember never that.
Well,
the headline,
if it does happen, it's usually because something bad has happened to
really
the
bad news. Yeah, really bad news. But I mean, I don't remember too many headlines saying, oh, the property taxes in Rochester are set to go down by 4%. No. So yes, the property taxes, the city council did approve a preliminary property tax increase of just over 4% on the median value home. So again, there's PITI, right? There's the principal, the interest, the taxes, and the insurance. Those are the four things that make up your mortgage payment.
Yep.
So we've got to find out when you identify a property, what is the price? What is the rate you're going to get? What are the taxes on that property and how much is it going to cost to insure it? And let's find out what your monthly payment is going to be. And if that number fits your budget, then it's a slam dunk. So that's what we have to stay focused on.
Absolutely.
I actually just had somebody tell me, wait, how much are your property taxes? And I told them, they're like, that's crazy. Our house where we just moved from was, and where was it? Our house was $500,000 and our property taxes were $15,000. I'm like, what? Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, you go to Wisconsin, their property taxes are significantly higher.
Yes, they are. They definitely are.
But they tax in a different way.
Right, and that's the thing. People will say, oh, we're going to move to this state because they don't have, income tax, or they don't tax on clothes, or they don't tax this. Well, they tax somewhere because they're getting their money somewhere. So maybe you're not paying it when you go to buy clothes, but then instead you're paying more when you go to pay your property taxes, or, it comes out in the wash, right?
Yeah, and I can attest, I calculated this last year, that from the time we moved into this home 33 years ago, our property taxes have quadrupled over the 33 years.
Yeah.
But that being said, costs have more than quadrupled.
Yes, and I bet you make 4 times more than you made 30 years ago.
Gosh, I hope so. I didn't calculate that part. Now I have to do that.
It's all relative. I just laugh because, sometimes my kids will say, Grandpa told me he only paid $7,500 for his first house. Is that even possible? I said, yeah. And did he also tell you that he worked for $1.25 an hour?
Yeah.
It's like it's all part of it.
It definitely is.
Okay,
we have a few minutes left, and I always want to hear about your new listings.
I think I have some in my pile of paper here, so let me find them. I mean, I know I have some. One of the ones that I'm really excited about is one of the ones that came on the market yesterday as a coming soon, and that is at 405 Lawrence Boulevard down in Wabasha. And if you know Wabasha, that means right on the drive along the riverfront.
Oh,
right?
Nice.
Yeah, and it is a house that I call a diamond in the rough because it seems like a time capsule when you go in. The house belonged years ago to Judge Hatfield and his wife, and they had one daughter, and the house became hers, and she and her husband and sons used it as a weekend place. And I think a lot of her mom and dad's stuff was still in place, dishes, artwork, everything. So it's like walking into a museum. She has since passed along with her husband and one of the sons. So now it's been owned by the only survivor in the family. And he's a very, very busy businessman in Chicago. So just doesn't have time to get here. So the house is basically just sat there unattended, and it's in some desperate need of love. But wow, is it a beauty. If you look at just the outside, you're going to be like, oh, that house looks like it's in tough shape. And the outside, it is. But you go to the inside and you feel like, wow, much better in here. And literally you walk through and you feel like you're walking into somebody's house, I don't know, 50, 60 years ago. And all the fancy dishes and artwork, and I love it. It's really fun. So that one's going to be, it's $725,000, and it is going to be available a week from today. So the first week is just coming soon. We want to spread the word. I think it might be somebody from the Twin Cities or somebody from Rochester that wants a beautiful weekend home right on the river. I don't know. Who knows?
Am I imagining that this home has a beautiful porch and
2, one on each end, one on the west and one on the east end, and they're enclosed, but they can be all screens or windows. And yeah, it's you'll have to look at the pictures online. It's really cool.
It's a bigger house too, I imagine.
It is. It's a 2-story. It has 4 bedrooms upstairs. Back in the day, they weren't luxurious with their bathrooms at all. These are really big bedrooms for an old house, but 1 bathroom upstairs and then 1 bathroom on the main. Kitchen is quite small, has a big dining room, but back in those days, the kitchen was for the help, right? For the cook. So it wasn't big, but obviously it works. It's functional.
But it's right on the river too.
It's got, the old saying, it's got $1 million view. It definitely has $1 million for $725. All right. Anyway, listed another one down there as well. So gosh, if you want to go to Wabasha, this one's on the backwaters. This one's out behind the high school, and it is very well cared for. So on the opposite end of the spectrum, I mean, these folks live there and take very good care of the house. And it is 4 1/4, has a dock, really nice place. So if you're looking to go to Wabasha, I've got those 2 brand new ones. But in Rochester, we've got some things to talk about as well. 1817 First Avenue Southwest. So that's down on Broadway. Southwest, kind of down by John Hardy's Barbecue, but straight across on the other side of the road, like as you're going up the hill to Apple.
Yeah, by Golden Hill, the base of Golden Hill.
Yes. So that is built in 1946, but it's been completely redone by the current owners, and they do meticulous work, and it is really a doll. 4 bedrooms and 2 baths. It's got a 2-car garage, but it's got a big, beautiful patio up above the garage. Oh, so cute. Anyway, this one's $375, and it's been on the market a couple of days, still available, but can't tell you how long it's going to last. We've got Kings Run, 1711 Kings Run Drive. This one just hit the market. Been a day on the market. It's $399.9. It's a big 2-story. It's about 3,000 square feet. It has 4 beds, 3 baths, a 2-car garage, and it was built in 1992. I got another one over there too, I think. I can't see it, but I think I'll come across it. We've got a beautiful house at 4914 Manor Ridge Lane. That's a 4-bed, 4-bath, 3-car garage. And that one's $484.9. We've got one on Stone Park Drive that is just drop dead gorgeous. Oh my God. They have just gone through and made this house look like a brand new construction house. It's not that old. I mean, it was, let's see if I can find the year built here. Built in 2015, so it's not 10 years old, but it feels brand new when you walk in. And that one has 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. It's a little over 1/3 of the acre, backs up to the woods, got a nice sized 3-car garage with the, nice finishes in the garage. And it's $949.9. Then we have, is this a new one? Yes. This one is 1900 11th Street Southwest, and this is a 4-bed, 5-bath, 3-car garage on 1/3 of an acre for $599.
Nice.
Yeah, so we've got a nice little selection to choose from, and obviously we have some other ones, but I just picked out the ones that are a week or less on the market. Just talk about the fresh stuff.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of houses to choose from, our listings and other listings. Like I said earlier in the show, I think there's still some room to negotiate because there's just a little bit of time where sellers who want to sell are thinking, ooh, I don't want to sit through the winter. But between you and me, they're not going to, because if you don't come out there and buy it, soon the traffic's going to pick up and it's going to sell. It's going to sell. So now is the time, people.
So now is the time to give you a call. How do they reach you, Robin?
Call me on my cell phone. I will answer it if I'm available, and if I'm not, I will call you back promptly, I promise. That number is 507-259-4926.
Great, Robin. You have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll talk again next week.
Sounds great. You too.
Bye-bye. I look forward to it. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results. It's News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.